Racial crime is a serious offense, whether it happens in India or happens in Europe or Africa. But another, I would say, the dark side of the racial criminal politics is identity politics. आप अपने आसपास देखेंगे कि बहुत से लोग अपनी आइडेंटिटी खेलते होंगे, चाहे इट कुड बी एनी आइडेंटिटी, इट कुड बी रीजनल आइडेंटिटी, इट कुड बी रिलीजियस आइडेंटिटी, इट कुड बी योर gender based identity, and sum total of it is basically, to protect the rights of the people or to give added benefits to a certain community, etc, etc, etc. But identity politics जो है इंडिया में, it's played by everybody. Nobody is innocent here. I will take you back to mid 19th century when there is a Santhal tribe in India, in Jharkhand, I think in Jharkhand. So British took them, just like they took a lot of Indians to the places like Caribbean islands and Suriname, etc., etc. So they took them for the tea farming, tea-based agriculture, to Assam. And these people have been there for about 150 odd years now, and they still haven't received the domicile or the local proof of citizenship, etc., etc. Another incident happened in 2003 when a group of 30 students from Bihar went to Assam to give railway examinations. Most of them were, burnt alive by some people over there. Most people say that they were the Ulfas who did that crime. Now, I will take you back to the overall, the countrywide issue. There is a lot of regional politics going on in India at the moment. I'm sure you're aware of what is happening in Mumbai, what is happening in Bengal, what is happening in Bangalore. So there are cases of Bihari Asmita, Kannada Asmita, Marathi Asmita, and I'm sure there are many several cases in Bengal as well, several cases in Gujarat as well. So everybody is fighting for their own self-respect apparently, and Asmita, which is the prestige issue. ये तमिलनाडु में भी हो रहा है, ऐसा नहीं है कि तमिलनाडु में नहीं हो रहा है, बहुत जगहों पे हो रहा है इनफैक्ट. रिसेंटली एक आइडेंटिटी और आई वुड से रेशियल क्राइम का इशू आया है, वो कि एक त्रिपुरा बेस्ड लड़का था जो देहरादून में पढ़ रहा था, एंजल चकमा. आई एम श्योर यू मस्ट हैव heard of this name. It's there in every discussion across social media platforms, and LinkedIn influencers are making a lot of getting a lot of traffic by writing on these issues, on this issue in particular. And there are a lot of guilt tripping which is happening in the name of this. So Angel Chakma was murdered in Dehradun, and he was murdered by a group of 6 people. Okay, the case was registered as an attempt to murder, because then he was taken to the hospital and he had some spinal injuries because of the stabbings. Post 15 days, this issue, FIR was lodged and everything was done. And after 15 days, this news report started saying that it was a racial crime, and this guy was, I would say the 6 people who murdered him, apparently, they hurled racial abuses such as chinky and momos, etc. that student from Tripura. Now, the surprising thing is, out of the 6 accused, 4 are from Uttarakhand, 1 is from Manipur, and 1 is from Nepal. So 5 Indians, 1 Nepalese citizen, out of which 1 of them is Manipuri, and all the rest of the 4 are the Pahadi from Garhwal, Uttarakhand. Now, if you look at this detail carefully, why would a Manipuri call a Tripura guy chinky or momo? It's apparently same as a Malaysian calling an Indonesian a chinky. So I'm not sure, because the SSP Dehradun has issued a statement that preliminary investigation doesn't find any hate crime. Neither it was mentioned in the first information report. So after 15 days, the NGOs and the crowd started saying that, and then the parents also collaborated to the statement that victim's maternal uncle said that he begged the accused that I'm an Indian, do not kill me, I'm not Chinese, etc. I'm sure it's very it's a little dramatic, of course. People have lost their child. I'm sure they have the right to be as dramatic as possible. So I'm not questioning them of their, I would say, intentions behind it. But what I'm seeing is a pattern over here. Okay, this could be. I'm not claiming anything. Police are investigating. It's an investigation, so there is no point commenting on anything which is not there yet in public. So police is investigating. They are probing the angle of racial crime as well. So far, they haven't found any. I've already given the names. Okay. So now, taking you back to the case of Bihari students being burnt alive in Assam in 2003 when they went to give examinations. We didn't find any in any of the newspapers, though it's there. There was no furor, and we didn't find it in any of the newspapers. No NGOs ran the candle march, though, because that's because candle march wasn't a very usual thing back then. We're talking about some 22 years ago, incident of 22 years ago. So there is some certain element. I think there is a certain responsibility with which people need to speak on this issue, rather than just storifying things, giving it a dramatic turn, and just to gain attraction, just to gain engagement on social media posts. I have found a lot of corporate people doing it on LinkedIn with no sense of whatsoever, no sense of information about the case. All they've heard is that a certain individual from a certain region has been killed in a certain region, and then they have started cooking up stories around it. Because if you see, identity politics is a gangrene which is going to kill not only the accuser but also the accused. So there is no party which is going to gain from it except for the short-term gains, because this issue will be covered in across all the portals which are perhaps would like to portray India in a bad light. Now, I'm not saying that India has enough issue already. We are already in a bad light over a lot of issues, and we are responsible for that. But all I'm saying is, until you know about everything about certain things, we shouldn't be commenting on that. We should at least be a little more responsible in making comments on things as sensitive as this, because this is alienating not only just one segment of society, but 2-3 multiple sections of society. Otherwise, identity politics to Usman Khwaja bhi khel rahe hain. This guy has played 86 test matches. 86 test matches. He has a career which is 15. He's had a career which is 15 years long. He started playing in 2011, I guess, and then he had a stopgap arrangement because of his loss of form a lot of times. Still, in 15 years span, he has played about 86 test matches, which is a no mean feat. इतने टेस्ट मैचेस तो डेमियन मार्टिन, माइकल स्लेटर, ग्रेग ब्लूवर्ड जैसे जो इनके धुरंधर हुआ करते थे ऑस्ट्रेलिया के, उनको भी नहीं मिले. स्टुअर्ट लॉ और माइकल बेवन को तो ये बात थी, हाथ को आया मुंह ना लगा. स्टुअर्ट लॉ थक हार के जिम्बाब्वे खेलने चला गया. माइकल बेवन रिमेन्ड लिमिटेड टू दी ओडीआईज ओनली. सो उस्मान ख्वाजा का ये कहना कि आप उनके साथ रेशियल हेट्रेड होता रहा है, उनको नहीं खिलाया जाता, इस वजह से नहीं खिलाया, दैट इज आई थिंक इट्स बुलशिट. देयर इज नो ट्रूथ इन दिस आर्गुमेंट. बिकॉज होता क्या है ना कि आप देखें कि आप कह तो देते हैं कि मुझे मेरी रेशियल आइडेंटिटी के हिसाब से लोगों ने गाली दी. रैंडमली पीपल थ्रो दीज एलिगेशंस और उसके ऊपर बवाल मचता है. अदरवाइज अगर आपको इफ यू वांट टू रिकॉल द इंसिडेंट्स, यूपी के जो लोग हैं उनको भैया बोला जाता है ना, ऑल ओवर इंडिया बोला जाता है, और रैंडमली लोग बोलते हैं, फेसबुक पे बोलते हैं, सोशल मीडिया पे, एनी अदर प्लेटफॉर्म, और इन रियल लाइफ इज वेल. ऑफिस में भी लोग बोलते हैं, मुझे भी बोल चुके हैं, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है ना. आई हैव टेकन दिस थिंग वेरी लाइटली, क्योंकि इससे फर्क क्या पड़ता है? इससे कोई फर्क पड़ता है क्या? मेरी बदनामी होती है? सामने वाले को जितना पता है उतना ही बोलेगा. ये तो मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बनती है कि मैं इसका चाहे बवाल काटूं या मैं इसको ठीक है हंसी में टाल दूं उसको. नहीं तो इस पे तो कभी मैंने किसी भी नेताओं को बवाल करते नहीं देखा. कोई एनजीओ ग्रुप्स इस पे कैंडल मार्च नहीं किया, किसी ने नहीं बोला इस बारे में. हर समय होता है, महाराष्ट्र में होता है, तमिलनाडु में होता है, बंगाल में होने लग गया है. इनफैक्ट यूपी और बिहार के लोग तो आपस में एक दूसरे को बिहारी भैया गाली देते रहते हैं, हंसी मजाक में. तो इसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात हो जा रही है, मुझे समझ में नहीं आया आज तक। तो मैं सिर्फ इतना कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि आइडेंटिटी पॉलिटिक्स खेलने के लिए इतने सारे टॉपिक्स हैं इंडिया में, इतनी सारी फॉल्ट लाइन्स हैं, दैट वी वुड रन आउट ऑफ आई वुड से स्टोरेज स्पेस. We would seriously run out of storage space if we start taking up every single identity based issue in India. So I think people need to hold their horses a bit and do not make any comment which could spiral into fireball which will engulf the entire country. But I'm sure लोगों की याददाश्त इतनी कमज़ोर होती है कि वो शायद भूल-भाल भी जाएं, but again ऐसे ही छोटे छोटे इश्यूज बढ़ के ना बहुत बड़े इश्यूज बनते हैं और उसके मेजर कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज होते हैं. सो वी एज सिटीजन्स ऑफ इंडिया, whether we are on ground, whether we are at work, whether we are at school, colleges, universities, or social media with fake names and fake IDs, we should practice refrain from making irresponsible comments. That's all I have to say about identity politics. I think next time we'll cover a different issue. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.